in this world where there's a huge trend with the B2B self-service journey, where they're waiting longer and longer and longer to even want to talk to us. And this isn't a small group. This is 80+% of the B2B buyers. And what they're doing is they're consuming more content to make their decisions in the same amount of time. They don't have more time in their day. So the idea is, how do we spark conversations earlier in the buyer's journey, where we're being relegated to later and later? That's why I brought up that quote, content marketing solves problems, thought leadership sparks conversations. Just wanted to get your opinion on that and what you thought about that.
Yeah, I'd actually very aligned to you. What I'm finding is that people don't realize the number of touches it takes to actually get to a place where that MQL or even lead turns into a sales qualified lead. The scoring actually tells you that, because you require a decent content journey to get you there. So building the right set of assets that resonate with your ICP and getting them in front of them early enough in the right areas that they're self-guiding themselves into a decision. I think you've probably read that in your research. How many decision makers are now self-guiding? They're doing their own research. And if you're not in front of them where they're doing their research with the right collateral, when they're early, obviously it could be ebooks, white papers. As you kind of move into the middle, it could be like more relevant podcast sales scripts, things like that. And later on, it could be like, obviously, what's eventually the service offering, right? I think I'm really understanding that and how each one has to getting something closer and closer to an actual person in pipeline is highly critical. And on the PR side, one of the things I just don't think people understand how actually important PR is. And the way I look at PR, I think it's a very important brand tool. I think it can be used for demand generation as well if done correctly. Because the way I've done PR is I've used good agencies who really understand that putting someone's top maybe 7 to 10 thought leaders into the market and getting them on relevant publications, webinars, third-party articles, podcasts, and social media, and they're present. Elevating them actually elevates the company and is a great way to show brand engagement as well. And then actually you can correlate that to even the top of the funnel content, even though it feels like PR might be, most people think, let's just launch a press release. Whereas if you do this other thing correctly by getting on the right publication and get on the news story of what's happening, rather than trying to make your own news, because good luck getting a press release. Elon Musk's launched some interesting Gen AI product, right? He's making news. So now you should jump on that news that is relevant and catch that story and be part of that and get your thought leaders to give their perspective on that. And the right agencies can get you in the right moments because they have the relationships to get you there. But I think people think that PR is actually just, let's just do a press release and we'll pay the winner over a couple $1,000 to distribute it in the US and Canada or EMEA for impressions. And you know what? We've done PR. But I think if you do it correctly, it actually could yield not just impressions, but good demand, and actually could elevate your thought leadership in a branded way and rise kind of all boats with 7 or 10 people looking credible in the organization versus just the brand itself.